Today I'm just going to go over starting with Kristen Blossom's interview about acting, some of her answers to the questions they asked her, and also the article Advice from Actors. I'm going to go through and just mention some things that stuck out to me or some things that I believe might help me in my future career. Just some things that I like and some things that I was like, wow, never thought of that before. So let's start out with Kristen Blossom's interview answers. She says public solitude is acting exactly as you would alone, but in front of an audience. That's good. Supposedly that was from her professor in college, but I thought that was super cool because public solitude, I mean, you're in public, yet how do they expect you to be in solitude? So here it says, acting exactly as you would alone in solitude, but in front of an audience. So I can relate to that because, I mean, even as simple as scene work that I was working with the other day, me and my scene partner, we were clicking, it was good, and then my teacher comes up and watches us, and in that second, I'm like, oh, I don't feel as, safe or as open as I was, and it's definitely something you need to work on is public solitude. Be able to be yourself as you would alone with a group of people around you. Kristen said that to teach to her means to ask questions that lead students to experience self-guided discoveries. I had to write that down because right now I am also a yoga teacher, so I figure that could go, either way, a student teacher, yoga teacher, gymnastics coach, anything. It's good to ask questions that lead students to experience self-guided discoveries, not just nonsense that won't take them anywhere in life, I look back at a few of my professors or teachers in high school even, and a very small handful of them really made an impact on my life. And it was those who really dig deep in the student's soul. She also said, what's the point of all of it if you're not having fun? I can't quite remember what she was referring to, but that could go with life in general, What's the point of all of it if you're not having fun? I mean, that was really one of my main things of wanting to be an actress is I want to have fun, I want to enjoy it. I want to have a job that I like getting up every day for, even if it's not every day because this kind of job probably isn't, but I want to have fun. I want to enjoy myself. I want to make memories, and you're not going to get that at Brookshire's. I was going to work at Brookshire's, so I use that example. If you work at Brookshire's, I'm not saying your job sucks. I'm just, the point I'm trying to get at. I could agree with her statement. She said that she extracts her inspiration and her creativity from whatever she's learning in the moment, and she used other verbs, learning, studying, going over, I don't know what she used, but I just put learning because that's pretty much where my creativity comes. Whatever I'm learning in the moment, I go through phases in life, and I'm sure we all do, of certain hobbies and whatnot, and really whatever we're learning in the moment, that can be a way to spark our creativity, and that's totally me. I extract that inspiration from what I'm learning in the moment. It makes me branch out. I'm trying to think of an example in my head, but all I can really think of is me reading my Bible. I've been reading my Bible more, and the more I get to know who Jesus was and what his character was like, it makes me branch out and think of ways that I could do that. Just as simply as like going around and giving people compliments just to make their day, just ways to be happy, ways to be good and kind. So it's pretty creative. No, but all right, let's move on to the second interview that we read, the article. Chantel Van Santen was the only actress that I wrote down, so we'll start with her name. But it said right under her name, in quotes, Chantel Van Santen is an actress who radiates charisma. And I looked up the word charisma, and no, I do not remember the exact definition. but I loved it. I loved that definition. Gosh, I really wish I would have memorized that definition so I could tell you, but go look it up. Charisma. She radiates charisma, and I want that. You know, I would love for people to say that, like, that's the way that I act. That's not act in everyday life, but I'm saying, like, on stage or on film, she radiates charisma. So it's a goal. One of her advice tab said, listen, 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 and react. Number one thing, listen, 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 and react. Because right now you're listening to me and you will react to me. And that's the way we should act. We shouldn't act, we should react. It's good. That's a way to be present, because we're listening, we're taking it in, and then we're reacting. If we're in a scene together and I'm not listening and I'm only reacting, what am I reacting to? I wasn't listening. So listen and react. The next actress said, or actor, I don't know, I didn't write their name down, but there's nothing better than watching a scene and thinking, I can't do that yet, but I'm going to do it. It was a boy, it was an actor. There's nothing better than watching a scene and thinking, I can't do that yet, but I'm going to do that. That's a good goal. He also mentioned in his advice, you don't really want to be the best actress in the room, because that's not challenging you. You got to find challenging things, and that is a struggle for me, because I love to be the best in the room, and that sounds very boastful, but I didn't mean it like that. I mean, you know, I would want others to look up to me, but in this field, that's good advice. I mean, you shouldn't be, you know, that's why we're in class. We're learning to be better. So set a goal for yourself. I may not be able to do that, what she's doing, but I'm going to do that one day. Don't be afraid to look stupid. Don't be afraid. We can all be silly sometimes. And freshman year of college for me, that was my issue. I really didn't want to look stupid. But then I saw all the other theater kids being stupid, and I was like, we're all stupid. Let's go. Let's embrace it. So don't be afraid to look stupid. Someone is going to get that part. Why can't it be you? I start this one because this is the reason why I changed my major from chemistry to theater, because somebody's going to get that part. Why can't it be you? One of my professors, the very first professor that had a huge impact on my life when it came to acting, and the reason why I am a theater major now, he told us this. He said that he went through a list of all the actors, the famous actors, and this and that, and their accomplishments, and at the end, he was like, why can't this be you? Like, what is so special about them? They're regular people. And ever since that moment, I was like, whoa, that's true. Even though I came from a little hick Scurry Rosser, Texas, that can be me. I can move to California one day and make a star of myself. I don't know. We'll see. But it can be you. Preparation is key. That's another thing that my old professor said, and somebody put this on there, or maybe I just wrote this down actually. This is a tip from me. Preparation is key. Be prepared. Like Kristen Blossom says, know your lines frontwards and backwards. Know them in your sleep. Be prepared. That way you can really be present in the moment when you're acting. Preparation is key. You want to know what key is? Preparation. Be prepared. Give them your best audition and forget about it when you leave the room. I have yet to really do auditions except theater auditions at SFA. And I figure they'll be a little bit like, you know, professional auditions. So give them your best audition and forget about it when you leave the room. That's a struggle. I mean, I'm sure it's a struggle for everybody, because we just get nervous when we get around people. You know, your nerves try to take over, so don't let them take over. Do your best. And then right underneath it says, in auditions, enjoy yourself in the room and meeting all the people along the way. That's a good way to look at it. I liked that because I do like to meet new people. And like, if I'm not in an audition, say I'm in an elevator, I love to meet new people, you know, on a daily basis. So if I could like change my vision to that, if I'm in the audition room, and just look at it as, hey, I got to meet new people, same people in the same field, so that's a good way to look at it. Enjoy yourself in the room and just take it as an opportunity to make a memory. Somebody said, don't look at the camera. That's a good tip. Nobody's told me that, but I could see why that is so important. Don't look at the camera. So I'm going to go with that when I get behind camera. Don't look at it. And I noticed when I saw that, sometimes I watch like B-rolls on YouTube, like videos behind the scenes of movies, and they never really look at the camera, but sometimes when they look at the camera, you're like, oh, that looked weird, like that was really personal. And I'm sure that's why they don't want a personal interaction with the camera. We're in the movie over here. Passionately rehearse your role. We all know that's important, especially when getting to know your character and being your character. Passionately rehearse your role. Put a passion behind it. I want to be this person. I want to act with this person passionately. Be an actor regardless of any paid title or credit. This, how can I say this? They meant don't, you should always be practicing your craft. You should always be in theater, out of theater. You should, even if it's free, even if you're not making money, put your time into it and you get better. Run your lines through, with your other friends and whatnot, do a scene, have fun with it. For me, it's like when I look at my future of acting, I don't see myself wasting time and doing free theater. I just don't. And maybe that's something that's why I wrote it down, something that I really need to take advice into, practice your craft. You can't always do it by yourself. You need other people and practice. So what better practice than free theater, Get a life. The more we can be well-rounded people, the less desperate we are in the audition room because you are already living a full life. That's great advice. I think every single actor needs to hear that advice. So I'm going to say it again. Get a life. The more we can be well-rounded people, the less desperate we are in the audition room because we already have a full life. We're already living a full life. So don't set your standards in your life and your expectations and every single thing on the audition. Forget about it. You're there, have fun, do your best, go home to your kids, to your husband, to your dog, to your cat. Enjoy your life. Because auditions and acting is not life. I will tell you that. There's no way it is. It's just reflecting life. The last one I have written, just kidding, 2 more. Your vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. Sometimes that is hard to believe because when we're vulnerable, we feel weak. But in this case, we can take it a strength because the judges, for lack of word, in the audition, the director wants you to be vulnerable. We want to let go. We want to let our character take over. I don't want to feel strong and I got this. I mean, I do have this, but I want to be in my character. I want to be in the moment. I want to be vulnerable. I want you to judge me. I want you to let me know if I'm doing this or not. If I'm doing it correctly. If I don't always want to sit up nice and straight. Sometimes I want to slouch, You got to be vulnerable when acting. It's not a weakness, it's a strength. You'll see. Last one from the article. Ooh, this one's good. Wang Feng. Field of power, meaning authentic presence. We love the word presence. We love being present. Field of power is Wang Feng. The cause or virtue that brings about authentic presence is emptying out and letting go. Being vulnerable, like I said, just empty it out and let go. You have to be without clinging. Don't cling. Don't be clingy. Just empty it out and let go to where that field of power can really take hold and you can find authentic presence on stage, behind camera, in your room, when you're studying. So that's that for Kristen Blossom's interview and the actor's tips, advice. For me, I'm still building my craft. I'm still perfecting it, of course, in college. But a couple of those I've pointed out and said, hey, this is my advice. This is what I learned in my freshman year and throughout. So, I mean, I could agree with every bit of that piece of advice. So if I was to give advice, I would just say we're here to entertain. And it's good to think that you're not there for the director. I mean, the director is there for you. We are the entertainment. They need us to be good. They expect us to be good. So be good. If you can be good, be good. You know, don't let big O director stomp on you because you're the talent. I mean, he's not. He's just talented too in his field, but you're the one on camera. So take advantage of that and realize that I'm the one on camera. They want me. So that's my advice. And for my acting style, I don't know. I really don't. I don't quite have a style. I don't think. I try to be realistic for sure. And I'm learning more and more. And so I don't think I've yet even come close to my potential when it comes to acting. But it's good to be. I like to be in the moment. And I love lately working with scene partners and being able to listen to them and see what they have to say. And then my line comes and that's what determines how I give it. You know, how I receive their line will interpret how I'm gonna do my lines. It's pretty much what I can say, but I hope that all of this advice does you well and carries you along. Thanks for listening.